Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Too Opinionated, where today we are joined by a friend of the show, actress, filmmaker, breathing expert, Alexa Shackelford. Welcome back, Alexa.
Thank you. Breathing expert. I like it.
So you're our, I think, Brett, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Alexa's our first 3-time participant on the show.
You're wrong.
Oh, who was it?
I've actually been on dozens of episodes.
You don't count. I'm talking about guest of the show.
Oh, Alexa, you nailed it.
Yeah. Awesome. We've had a few that have been on twice, but you're the first one that's been on 3 times. That's an honor. We should be like Saturday Night Live, like they got the 5-time club. If you host it 5 times, you get like a jacket and.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They got like a special room that you get access to.
Where's
That's
my
what we need.
room, guys?
Well, you haven't got to 5 yet.
This is your
okay. I need 2 more.
You need 2 more. Then you'll be the first one.
Sounds kind of expensive, so let's cut it off at 4.
Well, what we may need to put it like at 10 so that it's really hard to get to, and then it won't cost us anything.
Alexa, you'll have like a really good 4th episode, and then we'll block your email, and you'll never hear from you.
Guys.
So, Alexa, before we get started, I wanted to. Last time you were on, you did a episode of Brett Saves the World with us, and we talked about your film Imperceptible. So, is there any updates?
Yes, Imperceptible will be screening in Pensacola, Florida at the Meisterkhan Film Festival from May 21st to May 23rd. So,
Brett, road trip?
In Florida.
Road trip? Maybe. Depends who's driving.
Yeah, come on. Come join me. I'm gonna be driving down by myself. It's gonna be fun. I've never been to Florida, so I'm gonna go.
You've never been to Florida?
I've never been to Florida.
I'm trying to think where Pensacola's at. What's that near?
It's on the Panhandle. It's by like Destin, Santa Rosa.
Is Cocoa Beach near that? Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've been to Florida a bunch, but yeah, I know it's on. I don't know.
But I've never stepped foot in the state of Florida, so it'll be.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Nice. Here's a fun fact about this podcast: is we started it because we went to a short film premiere, and I got dumped, and then we started this podcast. So then it sounds like we're going to go to another premiere. Hopefully, I'll get dumped. There'll be a whole circle.
Well, if we go, you got to bring Morgan with us. We'll just eliminate it.
I think I'll. No. I want this to be a whole circle.
Alexa, let me tell you, we had this thing planned. So we were going to cover a convention in Cincinnati, and then we were driving from Cincinnati to Pittsburgh for this premiere for a short film that we were helping with. So it was just going to be this great weekend, and he breaks up at the convention, and and he was just devastated, and it was just awful. It was just awful.
Breakups are pretty awful.
It sucks, man.
I mean, you couldn't wait till Monday.
No, I couldn't. I didn't do it.
I know it was. And you know how that goes. There's nothing worse than being away from home where you're stuck. He couldn't just go off by himself. He was stuck. That was awful.
You couldn't go off and cry or scream in a
No.
Too opinionated.
You know what would have helped? Breathwork.
That's right. All right. So there's our segue.
I know. Now I did a segue.
That's a good segue.
I wasn't done.
What do you mean you weren't done?
Yeah, what were you saying, Brett?
No, I'm done.
No, it's spotlight's on you, big guy.
All I was saying is we created Too Opinionated, and then 50 very depressing episodes later, we started to have a good show.
Well, you eventually came out of your funk.
Let's breathe or whatever. I don't know.
All right. So, Alexa, tell us what we're doing today. What's this episode going to be about?
Well, I thought I'd show you a couple breathing techniques and then maybe do a very itty bitty mini session just to get you kind of
Yeah.
figuring out the flow of the breath of the active breathing, the conscious circular breath work. We won't do more than like a couple minutes because it'll be, a whole thing. But
Yeah, no, this
kind of
is
get you warmed up and give you a little idea of what you would
it's
expect.
exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So tell us why you chose to get into this. Why did you get into the breathing techniques? What was the purpose?
Well, I've been doing breath work for over 3 years. I
Wow.
started doing it because a yoga studio I went to offered it, and I am obsessed with healing modalities and self-help
Yeah.
and self-help books and just any way to be a better human.
Yeah.
So
It's a good time for that.
exactly. So I did the breath work, and the first time I did it, it was amazing. I had a really kind of mystical spiritual experience. So breath work, like the active breathing, was discovered I think in the 70s by this guy named Dr. Stanislav Grof, and he discovered the breath work. If you breathe like at a certain pace, like getting all the oxygen through your body, it can have the same effects as like LSD or like psychedelics.
Really?
If you're really dropped in and you're having a good session, it feels like you're on drugs, but in the best way, because it's, you feel like you're healing and you're opening up parts of your brains
and it's legal.
Your brain. And it's legal because it's just you using your body to do that. So I had that kind of experience, and I kept going, and I was going every week, and I kind of fell off doing it during the pandemic because I was doing it in a group session.
Yeah.
And then when I moved here, I kind of stopped, and I started doing it again at the end of the year. I was going through a lot of stuff, and I just really wanted to get back into breath work. And I had a teacher who was teaching it over Zoom. So I got back into doing it, and it was just amazing. And it kind of brought me back to myself. And and then she was doing a certification program for breathwork teachers. So I joined that, and I became a breathwork teacher, and it feels amazing. And I've always wanted to heal, like be in that world and like have a way to help people and to heal. And I didn't know what that was until I found breathwork. And so,
yeah.
That's why.
No, that sounds really good. So what can, if someone goes through the exercise, the whole program, what can they expect? What benefits should they get?
To feel high. She just said it.
Besides that one.
Well, I'm saying that it opens up your consciousness. Like you're more conscious and more in tune with your body. It releases energy. So if you're feeling really ungrounded, it helps with grounding, to just ground you back into yourself. It helps with releasing emotions. If you're feeling sad or depressed, then it helps to release that. So you'll just feel better after. Or even if you feel fine, it's great to do because you'll just feel even better. Or
right.
Maybe if you have a project you're working on, or if you're stuck on an idea, you can do it, and it helps to like just open up the creativity in your brain. So there's various ways it helps, and you also go into it. It's super different every time you do it. So you kind of have to go in with no expectations. So sometimes I'll do breath work and I'll be sobbing in the middle of it, and I didn't even know I had stuff going on.
Oh, I hope that happens.
And then sometimes I think we're doing a mini session, so I don't think that'll happen. That usually happens.
I don't know. Me and
a full like 40-minute session with me.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but we're probably going to drop in like immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen Dad cry twice, and he's probably seen me cry multiple thousand times.
Okay.
What are you talking about? I cry at the drop of a hat. I'm a very emotional guy.
You don't cry around me.
You would probably cry during breathwork. I cry most of the time when I do it during the session.
Really?
And yeah, a lot of people will cry, and it's something I usually tell them in the beginning of the class so they're not freaked out. because it just releases so much energy. So it just, there's pockets of emotions in your body that are stuck and you don't know they're there. So they all just come out. So usually people will cry or laugh. Sometimes they make weird like animal noises. There's just like anything goes.
So are you getting rid of like all the negative stuff coming out? Yeah.
You're just releasing anything that's heavy or needs to be released at that moment in time.
All right, Brett, I'll probably cry, but feel free to do the animal noises.
I'm not sure if this is rated G like we think it is.
Oh no.
And the best, so I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones, like over Zoom, but a really great experience is when you're doing a group session because everyone's channeling each other's energy. So it's this very communal, tribal experience, you know, where everyone will be crying, screaming, and then laughing at the same time. And
it's really interesting. And I'm guessing do you find that you're working more with women or with men? Because I would think it would probably be really helpful for men, but a little tougher for us to let go.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys actually, because I was having this conversation with a couple girls yesterday that were in my breathwork training program. We were giving each other a session, and I was talking about it because I mostly work with women, and I feel like that's usually how it is in that, like, the health and wellness community. But I feel like that's just because men haven't been taught to seek out help and healing and to deal with emotional trauma, and they're taught to suppress their emotions. So I feel like that's the only reason. I did have one of my good friends, he was going through a breakup, so I offered him a breathwork session and I did it for him, and it was a great experience. So that's the first guy I've worked with. And I think I felt a little uncomfortable because I talked through the sessions.
Right.
And part of me was like, the way I talk to women, I was like, oh, is this going to resonate with him because he's a man? So, sometimes I talk about chakras and, you're the light inside of you. And it's very more feminine terms.
Right.
So we were talking about if we're talking to men, I want men to be open to this type of work. So I didn't know if maybe talking about the physicality of it a little more and less about the mysticism of it.
The spiritual part of it.
Yeah, would help. So
did you try just lowering your voice an octave? That maybe just deeper voice.
Well, one of my friends, she said she did a breathwork session with a guy who was guiding, and she said it was very different because he was very quiet for a lot of the time to just space. And we were like, oh yeah, because I feel like women like to talk more and men need that space.
Right.
Again, I'm generalizing men and women here. This is obvious.
No, but that makes sense.
But yeah, it was a very interesting topic of conversation to have, because I want to be able to give this to men. I really do, because men need this type of work just as much, if not more, than women. Because women, we're so used to talking about our emotions.
Right. Brett, are you soaking this up? If we'd had this back, during the breakup, it only taken 20 episodes.
Breathwork has gotten me through every breakup I've gone through, and it is amazing.
Well, I will say this. Something that I've had to deal with in the past 3 or 4 years is the fact that I am mentally ill. I have depression, I have anxiety, and that's just it's not a big deal, but it's just a deal, So, and I'm on pills and they suck and I hate them, but get on them. I don't like them. I would love something to calm me down that wasn't medicinal and was natural, because I don't know, there's something about pills that maybe not for a woman, but for men at least, or for me, it makes me feel kind of like I failed. And no, I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to try something more natural.
Yeah, it makes me sad feeling I feel like a lot of men think that And I think women too, I think that's just a cultural thing of showing vulnerability as weakness, or if you're sad, like you're a failure for some reason. It's like, no, you're just human.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And
And
so,
that's a really good point, Brett. That's really good, because that's kind of the whole point, is to release some of those negative feelings so that you feel
yeah.
more like yourself.
And these techniques should be, offered, I feel like, in therapy, as opposed to just, I'm not against antidepressants, but I feel like that's the first thing people offer. And it's like, wait, aren't there other things we can also
Right.
incorporate in this, as a lifelong practice?
Yeah. So it's Brett. It sounds like we're going to get the basics. We may have to bring you back for the full session.
Well, I should definitely say that past 2 days I've been eating out of the crock pot of chili. So if you hear anything a little odd, that's just my breath. It's nothing else. Just wanted you all to know.
No.
I'm just letting you know.
You might release some other stuff too, because there's going to be a lot flowing through your body. So
That's right. All the bad's coming out.
Yep.
There's no bads. I don't drink soda.
I do. I'm excited about breathwork though too, because it is like more about the physicality. So I have noticed when I've talked about it with men, like you guys and other friends, like they have been more curious about it than I think other modalities, because it is directly connected to your body, to your physical body.
Yeah, because you're doing something. You're not necessarily talking about feelings. You're doing something to kind of release some feelings. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work. Okay, so anything else that we need to know before we get started?
So, I mean, I could give you the general spiel, but I feel like we're only doing a little itty bitty test run. But if you're doing an actual like full session with me, what I would say, is you might cry, you might yell, and that's okay. That's super normal. Sometimes when you're doing the sessions, because so much energy is coming out of your body, and when you do breath work, it's a very heart opening thing that you're doing.
Right.
So sometimes you get we call it tetany, where your hands turn into lobster claws, like they cramp up when you're doing it because there's so much energy coming out of your body. And it's because we have this nerve. It's connected from our heart to our hands. It's called the heart meridian. So there's just so much energy coming out of the heart that's wanting to release, and it all comes out to your hands. So you'll feel that in your hands.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because I know, like, the body has a lot of different pressure points. Like you can push on parts of the hand or the foot, and it can relieve tensions other places in the body. With stuff. So I'm assuming everything's kind of connected. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a lot of it kind of hands.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me.
It'll all come out through like a lot of the body. You can feel it like in your legs and your arms and stuff, but usually it'll like all the energy kind of centers in your hands while you're doing it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, what have you had a session, because especially with men, what do you do if you have someone they're kind of awkward about it? So they're, you know what I mean? They're not, they have trouble fully committing to it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. How do you help them to relax to the point that they can actually get into it?
Well, usually I try to just provide a very safe, space, like non-judgment. And I try to just be as soothing as possible during the session, and just encouraging and them to keep going with the breath while they're breathing. And usually, I haven't had too many issues with that. Usually people can like stay with the breath.
Right.
But if they need to stop for a second, that's okay. And sometimes it's okay to stop if emotions are coming up. I always want people to feel like if they need to cry or if they need to release something, that's more important than the actual breath. The breath is just a tool to get
right. Okay.
out. So it's not like it's not a rigid process of like you have to be breathing the whole time.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's
So you kind of go with your own rhythm. So as long as you come back to the breath at some point, like after you feel like you've released, and you're doing it right.
and this is something that anybody could do, right? I mean, the more you do it, the better I would assume you would get at kind of dropping into it. But anybody can do it.
It's similar to meditation. It's like everyone can meditate. Sometimes people, when you're meditating, you're dropping like sooner, but even meditation, you can't do it wrong. Even if you're doing it and your mind's going a mile a minute, if you're just sitting there and making the effort of meditating, you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's the same with breath work. As long as you're like laying down and you're
making the effort,
you're doing it, things are going to happen. Things are going to move. Energy's going to move in a positive way.
So when we get into it, Brett's going to be our guinea pig because he can actually lay down.
As long as Crypto decides to move,
Crypto will do it with you.
So if we do it, if we're just doing a mini session, it might feel a little weird so usually when I do it,
that's right. This is just a taste.
Yeah, because usually it takes like 2 songs to get into the breath, but this will be a good little.
That's right. That's right. I think it's awesome. I love that you're doing this, and I think it's really cool that you came back on to actually show us some of them.
I wanted to, and
we joke around a little bit and have a good time, but I mean it's really neat, and there's so many people, especially now, that are still pretty isolated, and I would think this type of thing is something that you could do to, relieve some of that stress. It's good.
Yeah. I know. I mean, and I wanted to start doing this because I feel it's not that popular, and it should be more.
That's popular. Right. We're bringing it mainstream.
Yeah, do it.
What are you saying, Brett? What you got?
I said I'm happy to take a little nibble. As long as it's gluten free, I'll nibble all you want.
All right, Alexa. So how do we how are we starting? What do we do first?
So usually I'll guide you into the breath with a grounding meditation or a grounding breathing exercise. So maybe we can do the breathing exercise.
Let's do that.
I usually start with nostril breathing.
Yes, I'm very excited about this because I told you I think off camera I struggle breathing through my nose, so this will be good.
Yeah, I'll show you the nostril breathing. Are you sitting on a chair, Michael?
I am.
Okay, so just make sure your feet are kind of grounded on the ground.
All right, I'll get them on.
You're Indian style on the bed, Brett, so that's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'm crisscross. Oh, you just said that. I'm on the bed.
Yeah. So you're gonna take your thumb
of
your right hand, and then your ring finger.
Sorry, I'm left-handed.
You can do your left hand. So as long as you have your thumb. Wait, you're left-handed. Let me see your. Hold on.
Do I need to do my right hand?
It doesn't matter. So you can do your left hand.
Dad, what hand are you doing?
Left.
I'll do left too.
Okay.
All right. Are we doing left? We can do left. Okay. So I'll start you with my left too. So it's your thumb and your ring finger. So you put your thumb.
Okay.
Nostril.
Okay.
You're gonna breathe in. Breathe out.
Through my nostril?
Through that one nostril, yeah.
Okay.
And then once you breathe out, with your ring finger, you close the other nostril and then breathe out. And then do it again.
Try this at home, listeners. This is a hoot. Okay.
And again. And then keep switching the nostrils.
I feel like I'm winning.
You are winning. I can hear myself breathe and it's making me laugh.
I struggle with switching fingers though.
Well, that's just because you're dumb.
Just uncoordinated.
That's why I said dumb.
So what does this do for us?
it grounds you. It grounds you and makes your body. It puts your body in a parasympathetic state, so you're relaxed and you're ready to do breath work.
I do want to say I have done breath work before, which is, and I laughed then as well. I had to do it for one of my voiceover classes because I guess like it helps you with different voices. So I'm a giggly guy. Okay.
She said laughter was fine.
Okay.
I do feel more relaxed.
So I think I explained. So I think you breathe in like this, and then you breathe out.
Okay.
Breathe in, out, and then you just keep switching. And we do this for like 2 to 5 minutes usually.
What do you do if your hand gets snotty?
You get a tissue.
Ew.
You failed the class.
Tell the t-shirt.
Not tell the class, you failed the class.
Oh man. Get down from there.
You just keep going in, out, and then you keep going. How do you guys feel?
I feel pretty relaxed.
Oh, good.
So would this help? I know this isn't exactly what it's for, but would it help with could it help with running?
That's a good question. I think so. It helps with everything. Because
I feel kind of relaxed.
I've done this before auditions before.
Yeah, because I had a little bit of a headache before we got started. It's not hurting anymore.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's good for everything. It's good for if you're feeling nervous, if you have a presentation to do, or you have
I will say I'm not more relaxed because I'm filled with just nerves all the time. However, I can breathe. Like my nose was a bit stuffy, and now it's not.
It's an amazing practice.
All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's awesome. So okay. So what's next?
So after the nostril breathing, usually I'll have you lay down.
This is you, Brett. This is you.
This is me. Crypto.
Don't mess this up. Don't embarrass us.
Hold up. Hold on.
And I got some sound bowls. So I have my this is a heart chakra bowl.
Okay.
So that bowl's pretty big. Do they come bigger than that?
They do come bigger than that. They come smaller than that. Like the Tibetan bowls are much smaller, like this big.
Yeah.
But this is a crystal bowl. So
do the different sizes?
I have a bigger one. This is a small one. So this is a heart chakra. I have a root chakra bowl that's like.
Oh yeah. So they do, right? So you use them for different parts of the body.
Yeah. So the chakra system.
I have heard of the chakra system.
Yeah. So,
yeah. But explain it to us, for those that
you get the root chakra. So, it's all about being grounded and, it's where our fear comes and anxiety and like feeling safe in the world.
Because you always hear about, if you watch TV shows, they're always talking about aligning their chakras.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah. This is all, so usually I'll talk about chakras. If someone's not into chakras as much, I'll call them energy centers. It's the same thing. It's just we all have energy centers going through the middle of our body.
Well, so on a serious note, if your chakras are out of whack, can that be making you feel bad?
Yes.
So it
affects everything.
Yeah, so when people say they're aligning their chakras or they're doing work on their chakras, then that is a way to actually feel better, get rid of
it's
whatever it is that's bothering you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the negative energy.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So we got the heart chakra, you got the sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown chakra.
And
Yeah.
which
Now,
one?
all right. Talk about this third eye chakra. What's going on there? What is that one for?
It's a center for your intuition, your spirituality. So yeah, it's all about your intuition.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's do it.
No, ignoring am I on mute? Because Dad, you keep on interrupting me. I want to know which one gets the fireballs.
Wait, what?
You mean
chakra do I need to do to use
fireball?
the elemental powers of fire? I want to know.
Well, your solar plexus is the element of fire, so
Okay.
That's that one you gotta,
that could kind of that could relate.
Okay.
That's the masculine energy. It's the fire element. It's how we show up in the world. So
I have a fire penis.
oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear God.
That is not supposed to happen.
Oh, that's just AIDS.
Oh,
My chakras are wrong.
your chakras are messed up, man. For off subject, for the job you did shaving that dog, he's actually looking okay.
He's a good-looking dog, isn't he?
Yeah, he's straightening out. It's starting to grow back. That's looking.
Sorry, he's on me. He won't leave me be.
That's all right. That's all right. He's gonna do it with you. All right, Alexa.
The dog thing's kind of weird. So every time I do breath work, we talked about this in one of my classes. Dogs, they know, they can feel the energy. So anytime I'm doing breath work, or anyone I've known that has a dog that does it, their dog comes and wants to sit on them or by them because they can feel.
That's neat.
All the energy, they feel it. They know. They're like, oh my God, something's.
Well, that's neat. Well, dogs know, or pets know, if you're upset.
Yeah.
Because they'll normally come over to you when.
Yeah. So my dog will always come and sit next to me, without like clockwork.
Oh, that's awesome.
His hair is growing so fast now.
His chakras are aligning.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I can't see him anymore. He's growing too much hair.
Oh my Lord. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, I was
Ready,
showing the bowl because
Yeah.
I usually play the bowl right before we start because it's a very
Yes.
This also grounds you. So I'll play the
I need
bowl.
grounded.
I'll play the bowl while I'm doing. I'll have him do the breath. So it's like a little beginning teaser.
I'm gonna try to do them even though I'm sitting up. I'm gonna try to do it anyway.
All right, so Brett, you're lying down.
Lying down.
So let's have the dog not on you, if that's possible.
I'll put you down later.
And put your hand on your heart, and then one of your hands on your stomach.
Okay. I do this a lot when I have acid reflux.
And I'll show you here. I'll stand up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have a full. It's like full. Just think full belly, full heart, out your mouth. So it's full belly, full heart, out your mouth. So,
What? Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's like 3, right?
3. It's 2. It's 2 breaths, and then out your mouth release. So it's 3 breaths, but two inhales, 1 exhale, and it's all mouth breathing. So you guys said you guys do breathe out your mouth. So
Yeah. We can do this one, Brett.
This is perfect for you guys.
Not to. I don't want to brag.
So it's just. All right, so it's like that. So that's the breath.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So close your eyes.
Okay. They're closed.
And and then just relax in your body and start with the nose breath, and then I'll tell you when to start the active breathing. All right.
I'm so nervous.
Close your eyes.
They're closed. They're closed.
All right. Just be grounded in your body. Be here right now. And then we're going to start the active breathing. So full belly, full heart, and out your mouth. Full belly, full heart, out your mouth. Full belly, full heart, out your mouth. Really connecting with your body, coming back to your energy, and using this time to release anything that's not yours. Full belly, full heart, out your mouth. So full belly, full heart, out your mouth.
What happened there? I was way into it. I don't know what happened. What happened?
Well, so that was a little tester, but we would do that for about 40 minutes, but with music, and it would be,
See, because I think it would take like for me, it would take a couple minutes just to get the breathing down.
Yes.
Because
so,
like right now, I'm only concentrating on trying to get the breathing.
Yes.
So I'm not. Yes. I don't feel as relaxed as I did like with the nose thing. But then once you get the breathing down, you probably
so
slip.
Here's the thing: you're not supposed to feel like relaxed when you're doing the active breathing. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, good. Well, then I nailed it.
You're gonna release a bunch of energy, and then you feel relaxed after. So it's not like a relaxing breath.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense because you're.
And usually when I do sessions, it'll take about 2 songs, which are around like 4 minutes each. So really, it takes about 10 minutes to really get into it.
Yeah, I can see that.
10 minutes, then it'll
start. It's not like a. You don't just know to breathe that way. You got to concentrate on it.
No, yeah, you have to concentrate on the breath, and it feels unnatural. But that's where all the healing comes, and yeah, so it'll take about 10 minutes to get you in, and then I'll curate the playlist. So we start off with like lighter songs, and then we go into more intense songs.
I liked it with the bowl though, and I will say that like my head feels clearer.
The bowl is, this is.
I liked it.
Amazing with the vibrations. I know over Zoom it doesn't do it any justice, but in person I put the bowls by people's heads. So I'll play them before session and then after to ground you back, to ground you into it and to ground you out of it. Because when you're done with the breath work, you can feel really discombobulated just because there's so much coming up, and sometimes there's still stuff.
Right.
So even after, sometimes I'll do breath work and I'll feel amazing after. And sometimes I will feel kind of like shit because there's still things processing and happening. So it'll take like 30 minutes.
Well, it's kind of like if you've ever done like the cleanse type of thing where you're kind of flushing stuff out, with the water.
It's the same concept. You're flushing out all the.
Yeah, and sometimes it makes you feel like somebody kind of beat you up a little bit because you don't quite get all of it out.
Yeah, so that's why I like using the bowls, because it usually balances you back out at the end of the session.
It seems like this would go with. So
you don't leave, and then you feel like, oh God, I'm still all messed up. You really want to take care in guiding people out of the session when it's done.
Couldn't you? It seems to me like you could do a session of this and go straight into like yoga.
Yeah,
you'd be way relaxed, and then I don't know. It seems like that would go hand in hand.
Usually, I would say you do the yoga beforehand.
Okay,
because breathwork
takes that some out of you.
It takes some stuff out of you.
Yeah,
it can, or it can make you feel really energized, and there's really no telling what will come up, because whatever's supposed to come up is going to come up. And
have you found that the more you do it, the better you feel after? Because you wouldn't have as much if you do it regularly.
I would say, unless but we're human. Like, unless you're Eckhart Tolle or something. Like, if you're having a really bad day and.
That's what I think it would be. Brett, this could be a game changer for us as podcasters.
Dad, if you let me talk, I would probably get some stuff.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm really interested. So interrupt me.
How did that little, you guys were just trying to get into the breath for the little, I mean, I gave you a very itty bitty.
Yeah, it was a little piece.
Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny piece.
Be honest, Alexa, you said that things come up, and I'm a little concerned of how many 6-packs and men's butts popped into my head.
What does that mean?
I think I'm gay.
No. Well, I guess maybe there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know.
If that's your authentic self, that's great.
I think we should stay away from the hour session. I'm not ready for this truth.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I'm joking. You know what I was really thinking? I hope they're not laughing at me.
See, here's the thing. This is what you got to get past, because you're self-conscious and your defense mechanism.
I think the breath work will help you, Brett, because I feel like you there's some defense.
That's right. It's a defense mechanism. That's when he jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna figure you out, buddy.
Break me down. Is all I've got left. You tear down.
You down. You're gonna come out of it better, though.
Oh, no. I don't want to. I'm perfect.
No, none of us are. You're gonna come out better.
I promise you, if you just gotta get it out, because if you don't, then it's gonna come out in 10 years, 20 years. It'll come out eventually. So you might as well control when it comes out.
Well, that's right. And if it helps you to control it where you wouldn't need to take medication, who knows? I mean, you never know. You might get to that point.
Maybe I just need a huge spiritual poop. Maybe that's what it. Don't shake your
Well,
head.
it's kind of like that. You're kind of dumping out everything.
I mean,
and
the thing is too, it's an ongoing process. This is a modality, but you have to keep doing things. Like, you can't do breath work once and be like, oh, I'm healed.
No, that's right. That's right. Because that's what I was saying.
Unicorns and rainbows, and
you probably get better at it as you go along.
I do realize now that I'm in the category that we were talking about earlier about the men who don't really express their emotions. I realize that now.
I know. See, Alexis she hadn't been around you as much, but I know when you start getting uncomfortable, that's when the nonsense starts coming out. That means it was working.
I'm sorry.
It does, though. That means it was working. If we had a full hour, you'd be crying, buddy.
It's a very vulnerable. I mean, also, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little hesitant about like doing this like for too long too, because I want it to be a private. You want it
right?
to be
Well, yeah, right.
private,
Yeah, because it's vulnerable.
People get very vulnerable. So sometimes when I'm doing it over Zoom, I usually have them mute themselves, because if they want to have that privacy to do what they need to do, if that makes them feel safer.
Yeah.
I want them to mute themselves while I'm giving them the session so they can do it in the privacy of their own home.
So
Alexa, that's the one-on-one benefit. If you're doing a group session, then it's great.
Right.
But one-on-one, if they want that privacy, then it's great to put them on mute. Obviously, if it's in person, I'm there, but I like giving them that privacy of.
When you start a session, especially over Zoom, like with podcasting. And you've been on a couple times, so we normally talk off camera for a few minutes to kind of so that you're more relaxed when you start recording. How do you do that? What do you do to kind of establish that rapport?
I'll
quickly?
talk to them before. Usually, I'll see if they have an intention in mind, but I want to be careful about that, because you don't want to go in with expectations. But if they have a certain intention, then we'll talk about it a little bit. But I'll also inform them that anything can come up. I just try to be as grounded as possible so I can provide a safe space and presence for them,
right.
So I can hold that space for them, and to tell them what could happen in the session, and maybe talk about the weird stuff I've done in sessions. So there's nothing you can do in breathwork will like freak me out or surprise me.
Well,
I don't know.
It all, and it's beautiful, and this is a non-judgment zone.
See, Brett?
Actually, I'm glad you said, Dad, shut your mouth. I hate being your partner. All right. Well, I'm glad you said the judgment thing, because this is literally my nightmare, working on myself in front of my father and a stranger. That that's stressful to me. I'm a very private person. I don't like showing off myself, and I'm also very self-conscious about pretty much everything about me, other than my humor. I'm pretty proud of my humor, but I guess what I'm saying is what do you do for someone who doesn't want to do something with a stranger, doesn't want to do something with someone he knows? I mean, is there tips you could give, like if someone wants to do it by themselves, or would you recommend just dealing with it, or is there one-on-one sections, or answer all those or none? That's fine.
Well, I mean, I was saying the one-on-one session, that's a good option, because in a group session, it's obviously going to be with a group of people. But the thing with a group session too, though, I almost feel like it's safer, because if someone else is yelling or screaming next to you, that it's permission. It's like permission. They're giving you permission to be like, oh.
Yeah, then the spotlight's not on you.
And then the spotlight's not on you. And then with the one-on-one, it's a different kind of experience. So it's in the privacy of your own home. And yes, I'm there to guide you. But I would hope that I could provide that space and connection before the session. And
you give off a very non-judgmental vibe.
Yeah, and ideally I'd have repeat clients too. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be a stranger,
That's
so
right. She's not a stranger anyway. She's been on here like a dozen times.
There's also ways to do it. I mean, I'm here to facilitate, but there are ways to do it at home. Like I've done it by myself before. It's not as impactful, I've noticed, just because you want someone to guide you, but sometimes you can do it on your own. Like you can make a really awesome playlist, and if you know the breath and lay down, like you can just kind of like make yourself do it.
Well, that's kind of the goal, right? Is so that you can use it whenever you need it.
So I do that for myself sometimes. I'll do it for myself when I feel like I have a lot of pent up feelings and emotions. So yeah, group sessions are pretty powerful though. I've noticed, I think that really got me out of like my shell with breathwork, because everyone's just so unapologetically themselves, and it's just like wants to roar and scream and cry and
no, Alexa, I'm myself, and I'm very sorry for it. I apologize completely for being myself.
Never apologize.
You shouldn't apologize. You are perfect, whole, complete.
I don't know, man. If I went in and saw a group of people, it would freak me out.
Well, you wouldn't probably start that way.
You wouldn't start that. I mean, my personality is also different than other people's personalities in that way. I'm a very openly emotional person. So for me, it's easier, but there are people that are a little more guarded, and they need a one-on-one session first, or maybe they need to start with a more like with the nostril breathing, or
right.
Like box.
Start small.
Yeah, starting small.
I don't like this podcast. It's making me realize things. I don't.
That's good.
That's good, Brett.
Is the box breathing different from the nostril breathing?
Yeah, the box breathing. So box breathing is when you breathe for, like you count to 4 when you breathe in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold for 4. Hold your breath for 4, and then you breathe out for 4.
I do that.
And then you hold your breath for 4, and then you do it again. So you breathe in for 4.
Okay. So so the 4 corners, I guess.
Yeah, and that's another. It's kind of like the nostril breathing, though. It's the same concept where it just grounds you and relaxes you.
That's something I learned in therapy. Which, by the way, Dad, maybe we should talk about me going back.
With therapy, though, too. Here's the thing with therapy. I feel like sometimes a lot of people focus on the talk therapy, and I feel like that can only go so far. And that's where breath work I love, because it's like it's really our emotions get trapped in our body. Like we need to be just talking about it. It's not gonna address the deeper subconscious issues, because we don't even know we have them. So how are we consciously going to talk about them if we're not,
Yeah.
aware?
Yeah, that makes good sense.
So the breath work kind of helps. It helps for you to realize, like, oh, I didn't even know I had that in me. And I've seen images from my childhood before and started crying during breath work, and then it goes away and I feel lighter. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been carrying that for 20 years. What?
Wow.
Like you can have very profound experiences doing it and you don't even know that shit is trapped in there.
I am scared that I have blocked out memories. I don't know if I could deal with those very well.
I mean, most of the issues we have as adults are from childhood and we don't even know we have them.
Yeah.
We're not aware of them.
Dad, is there anything that I need to know before I start breathing?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. So.
I
didn't want this to be a therapy session or anything, but sometimes, the breath work, it's,
Gets intense.
It does.
Well, if we went through a full 40-minute session or whatever it takes to get through the breathing, what happens next? What's the next step after that?
Once you're done with a session?
Yeah, once you're done with that 40 minutes, is there a way that you end it, or is it just over at the end of the 40 minutes?
No. So we end the active breathing, and then I usually have you rest in your body for at least 10 to 20 minutes of just resting and really coming back to your body.
Yeah.
And I'll put the bowls to ground you, and usually I'll end with a grounding meditation. Depending on the topic of the class, like if you had an intention in the beginning, like maybe you're having issues in your love life, so I'll do like a love meditation or an inner child meditation, or just a basic meditation on gratitude. So I'll try to end with that to really ease you out of the class.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, because it would be difficult, I think, to come straight out of the active breathing.
No, you don't want
and
you
just
do not
be
want
done.
to come out of the active breathing. You just want to no. If there's ever a breathwork teacher that has you just come out of the active breathing, don't ever go to that teacher again. It's not
okay.
Do that. No. That's a big no. You really need to be gentle with yourself after. And I always recommend too, like even when you leave, like when we part ways, to go home and journal, or maybe take a bath, or just process, be with yourself, be gentle with yourself. I don't recommend doing anything like super social or active after.
Yeah.
I don't
recommend that.
Is there anything that you recommend for daddy issues?
Inner child work.
Yeah, let's do it. I have a lot of those.
She's not going to help you with this podcast, buddy.
Yeah. You know what we should have done? I should have given you guys a private session and then like have you come on and give your feedback.
I still think we need to do that. And then
I would love to give you guys a session. Brett, I would love to give you a session.
We should do that and then have you come back on and see, there you go. She's already lining up visit 4, Brett.
What we just did, like, that's
just a taste.
Sure. It's like, it's not even, because you have to do like the full 40, like it's a journey. I'm taking you on a emotional.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that, Brett. When I say we, I mean you need to do that, because I know you have trouble if I'm there. But then you have to come back on and talk about it, though, both of you.
I would love to.
I'd love to give you a session, Brett.
Yes.
And you know what? And you can put yourself on mute.
Oh, all right. I am.
No, it's not even. All I would see is just your stomach, and I would make sure you're breathing correctly, but I wouldn't know what you're saying or what?
I don't want you to look at my stomach.
Well, no, just to see if you're doing the breathing correctly.
Oh my gosh, this may be a much longer session than 40 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let me just drop some pounds first, Alexa. Then we can do that.
You're perfect. You're perfect the way you are.
Yes, tell him that. Listen. He's so talented, and he beats himself up just all the time. He is like legit talented as a writer. I mean, really, really talented. And he just beats himself up all the time. Plus,
it'll help your writing too.
I would love to.
Once we're grounded and centered with ourselves, and a lot of magic comes out of that with creativity.
So fireballs. No, sorry. Sorry.
That's right. Focus.
You'll love it. You know what? For you comic book fans, when I'm doing breath work, so sometimes you'll start with on your stomach and your mouth, and then you'll put your arms out. Sometimes I'll have you put your arms out because your arms want to do a bunch of stuff. And I've had sessions where I literally feel like I have like energy balls in my hands because so much energy is coming into your hands. It's a wild feeling. You feel like you have balls of energy in your hands.
Okay. All right, we're setting that up, Brett. Once we're done, we're setting that up.
Okay.
Done deal.
Yeah, I'm in. I can do. Yeah.
Done deal. Because
I would love to do that for you.
Don't you think that's the logical progression? So we've seen you.
I would love to do that for you, Brett.
Uncomfortable, right? We've seen you uncomfortable. So now you need to actually go through it, and then you come back, both of you, and talk about it, because I think we'll see a completely different you.
All of my hair will grow out. It'll be all. Oh, I'll look like a surfer.
Yeah.
Michael, I'd love to do it for you too. But
yeah, yeah. We'll probably do me too, for sure. Especially if his hair gets longer, because then I'm in.
But I mean, this is just, I'm just so passionate about this, and I want people to feel safe talking about it.
I think that's the best.
Letting them out. If they want to cry, like, fucking cry. If you want to cry,
that's
like,
right.
Cry.
That's right. I think that's the best thing about you, Alexa, is that you can tell you're really sincere about wanting to help people, and I love that. Yeah, and we felt that way, when we talked before about it, that it's not just something you're doing. I mean, you really believe in it, and you're passionate about it. I think it's terrific. All the joking aside, I think that's terrific. And just a little bit, like we just did a little bit, but you can feel a little bit there. Even though it's just a little brief taste, I feel a little bit better. I feel a little more relaxed. My head quit hurting. I mean, that's
good for you, Michael. I'm having a crisis.
Are you sure you did it right? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, healing,
it's a journey.
It's a journey, and it can be very uncomfortable. But when you come out the other side, there's nothing like it. That's when you see the unicorns and the rainbows.
All right,
that's what we want for you, Brett.
When you get through to the other side, and then you'll see another, like, we're like, oh, there's another like layer to. Okay, we're going back in the cave again.
Yeah, I definitely think we should wrap it up, because I think that if we talk longer, I'll find a way to back out of it.
No, you're not backing out.
We're not backing. This is happening.
No, it's happening. So okay, so Alexa, talk about where can our listeners, our viewers go to find you, and I guess that's it. Yeah, where can they go? Give us all the links. I know you've got a website. Where can they?
Yes, I have a website. My business name is called Breathing Back to You, because I want you to come back to your whole.
I like that.
Self. So it's www.breathingbacktoyou.com. That's my website. And I'm really active on Instagram, so you could also contact me through my Instagram page, which is just Alexa Shackelford.
Yeah.
And you can book through my website, or if you need to, you can DM me too, and we can work it out.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, thank you so much for coming back on and putting up, with our nonsense. You've been through it before, so you knew.
Yeah.
You knew what you were getting into. But thank you so much.
I know this isn't like the modality or like for this podcast, but I want to be able to advertise this to everybody. And
that's right. And it's
not just people that know about chakras.
it's valuable. I think it's important. And we talked a little bit at the beginning about it being important, especially now, because people are isolated still, and there's all these negative feelings that we've built up over the last year, and we're dealing with stuff a lot of times individually. It's a great way to really work through some of that stuff. So I thank you so much for coming on and for doing this. This is great.
You're welcome. I'm more than happy to do this.
I definitely like doing different things that isn't just comic books. We talk about it in our personal life on the podcast. It's exhausting. I don't even like comic books.
You lie. That's such a lie.
Hey, you guys want to see something? Can you guys see my tower of comic books?
Ooh.
Yeah.
keep taking more and more and buying more and more, and I can't read them. I just, anyway.
You got a problem, buddy.
Yeah, it's the only time I feel.
keep buying books and not having time to read those. So
Don't you think that's? See, I used to do that, and
I'm reading 2 books at once right now, and I realized, oh wait, that's not. I need to get through one.
See, because I'm telling you, just from experience, that can cause stress.
I know. I'm looking at both of them. I'm like,
yeah. I used to do the. I had a book I read at home and a book that I carried with me. So if I was out somewhere and was waiting or
ooh, yeah,
then I would so I would do 2 books that way.
Well, I'm accumulating books because when I moved here, I got rid of most of my books except for the ones I reread.
Yeah.
So now I'm accumulating my bookshelf.
Yeah. See, you're rubbing off on us, but I know we're kind of doing the same with you because you said you were watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I did.
I watched it.
Yeah. So
well, so what happened was I got food poisoning last week.
Oh no!
And I was throwing up, and I was sick for 4 days, and there was nothing I could do. So what I did was I watched like every Marvel movie in bed because it's my comfort. It's my comfort movies.
Well, weren't we supposed to do this last week?
Yes.
So that worked out pretty good.
It worked out. So I got super sick and I watched all the Marvel movies. So I got back into it. And then, so I watched Winter Soldier.
There you go.
Back for a 5th time as well.
Yeah. It only took me being sick in bed and not being able to move.
That's right. That's all it takes. Yep. Brett, any closing thoughts?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, 2 things. The real quick about the movies. That's a feat. I like those. Like, I love those movies, and I can't rewatch them. I think it's exhausting.
Oh, really? I mean, like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a
fun one
because they're funny and lighter. So I like watching this.
Well, I watch them with a very critical eye. I know I shouldn't, but I do.
Well.
Just enjoy them.
Just enjoy them. Dad,
you talk to yourself. That's you've never enjoyed a movie in your life. What are you talking about?
And Thor Ragnarok was funny because Taika Waititi is just a god, and I love
hilarious. Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows?
I've seen all the.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
Yeah, I think he's like my favorite director right now.
Yeah. He said and he did. Was it Jojo Rabbit?
Oh, I loved it. That was my favorite movie of 2019.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I saw him at they did a screening when I was still in LA, and he was interviewing with the little boy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
The interview was hilarious. It was everything I wanted and more.
Oh, that's awesome. No.
Go
ahead. All right, go ahead. I'll shut up.
My genuine response from this episode is I think I just need to lay down. I don't mean,
Brett, maybe you should just start with meditating.
I mean, I know we didn't really do much, but it was enough for me to realize how troubled I am. I just sat there and I was a ball of stress because you guys were watching me.
Brett, cancel the movie tonight. We're staying right here till we fix you. If it takes all weekend, we're doing it.
Love to cancel the movie tonight. I'm not for real. I don't go out with people because I'm nervous to go out with people.
No, you need to get out.
But genuinely, I've canceled this 3 different times, and I can't do it anymore.
No, that's right. Get your butt out. What is the matter with you? Come on.
We're trying to figure it out.
All right, Alexa. Anything else that you want to say or to close us out on before we end?
No. I mean, I feel like we did a lot. I wanted to give you I'm a little disappointed and sad because that did not do what I do justice. I want to do a full session.
That's next. It's this was just to get a little taste
with the music and the
maybe
the meditation.
A part 1 on this, or something. Maybe we'll even put a part 1 on the title.
Well, yeah, because the part 2 though we're going to do more in private.
No, I know.
But then you'll come back. We'll talk about it.
All right,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, that way we can play our music and do all get the full thing.
Yeah,
would love
YouTube
that.
won't
And
Well,
I'll-
yeah, so we
I'll drop
can't
the video.
normally you would play the music, but we can't really do that because of copyright issues. So
Yeah, I would have to get like a special playlist for that's just
right.
music.
So that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, so okay,
That's
so
always, it's not the best. It's
so
usually
we're
like
in
not.
Georgia, right? We're doing this in person, aren't we?
yeah, she's coming up here.
Oh, I thought we were going to go down there, road trip. I
Yeah.
thought that's what we
No, we're
decided.
not driving to Atlanta.
We could. We could also do over Zoom.
That's right.
Oh yeah, it's probably easier. Could you imagine if we did this in person every time?
Oh my god.
All right,
What's that like? What's in person stuff like?
I don't know. I haven't seen a person in years.
Oh.
I know.
Dad-
He's not really lying. I saw him yesterday. It's the first time I'd seen him in 2 weeks. And we're literally 10 minutes apart.
And
Terrible.
father and son.
Yeah.
Yes. We have a business together.
All right. You guys hold on. I'm gonna
No, don't do this. End the episode.
Well, no, I'm gonna hit pause.
What?
All right, so that was the amazing Alexa Shackelford. She's the best.
I had a wonderful time. I think I had a wonderful time.
You had a difficult time, and that's okay.
Yeah. You talk.
Yeah. So I think that's exactly what we needed because this breathing stuff it's not easy, but it's beneficial. And even though we only just barely scratch the surface, you can see what kind of emotions it can bring up, and it makes you uncomfortable in order to get to the point where you're comfortable, if that makes sense. So I think I hope that people watching, people listening got a little bit out of that and a little taste of it, even with our shenanigans. And they go to Alexa's website and really check this stuff out and she's wonderful. I mean, she's very calming. She's non-judgmental. Just the best person, and she can definitely help walk you through that in a full session. So definitely, go and check that out. Work with Alexa, and we're gonna bring her back. So we're gonna actually do some full sessions, and then we'll come back and talk about them at a later date. So you'll see the update. Anything else, Brett?
Yes. You talk and talk and
You told me to.
I did. Well, let me tell you something. You do two things that I don't mind when we're on the podcast, but when we're on Zoom, is infuriating. One, you speak and run on sentences, and two, you do not put a pause in your words. There is no place for me to butt in.
Well, okay, so fair.
Yeah.
However, you did sit there and hem haw around and say you talk. So I talked.
Yeah. Okay. I'm back. I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Two things. One, it really bugs me that your Meisterkhan logo does not have 3 exclamation points.
It kind of bugs me too.
Yeah, that bugs me.
Yeah.
It should have 3.
I agree. It needs a 3rd exclamation point.
Second thing, something that I remember is this is not new to me. This is something I've tried, not a lot, but this is something I've tried before.
Right.
And it has caused panic attacks from me.
Yeah.
It's legit. It's a legit, everything that she's saying, even if it's, I mean, even if you don't want to go as in depth, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just wanted to get that.
So you've tried similar things. You haven't done the breathing yet, but it is difficult because it can bring up some stuff, but that's the point. You're going to bring it to the surface and then let it go.
No, I said that in the episode. I've done breathing.
Oh, you have? Okay. I must have missed that. Okay.
Yeah, I said like when I was doing therapy, I've done.
Yes, I do. Yeah, you're right. So that's good. Okay, that's good. Then this should be fairly easy for you.
All right. Well, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to tell you.
You're still nervous.
I'm still a little nervous. That was a rough time.
You did great, buddy. You did great. All right. So thank you everybody for listening. We really appreciate that you tune in week after week. This was a little bit different episode. That's some vulnerability there. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please check us out on our website, Meisterkhan.com. And we would also appreciate if you would give us a subscription on YouTube under Meisterkhan Pod. All right? You like that pause?
I like how you talk. That's
Oh,
fun.
All right. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Brett.
All right. Bye, everybody.